All of us have emotions. God created us with feelings and emotions. And if we don't learn to manage our emotions, it can lead to destruction. Like, how many people do we know that have gotten divorced because of their feelings and their emotions, who have gotten a fight, who have done foolish things, who have left a church because of their feelings and their emotions were out of control? But again, God created us with emotions. He created us in his image and his likeness because God has feelings and God has emotions. But I want you to hear this. God is not emotional. Do you understand that? He's not emo. He's not ruled and controlled by his feelings. And so when God made us with feelings and emotions, but God did not make us for our feelings and our emotions to have us. Here's the big idea of this teaching series that we're in. Write this down. God wants us to learn how to manage our feelings before they become our master. That's what we want to talk about over these next 5 weeks. How can we manage these feelings that God has given us so that they don't master our lives, so that we don't find ourselves in difficult situations or doing destructive things because we've let our feelings lead our lives? It's important because what we do with our feelings determines what happens in the days to come of our lives. We have to learn to manage them. And I want to talk about how we can begin to do that by sharing a story with you of when I was 19 years old. I remember driving down the Palmetto, the 826, and it was a Wednesday, and I had an event at church that I was running late to. And the reason I remember this day so clearly is because my low fuel light indicator popped up. Have you ever seen that before? Yeah, you know when that pops up, what are you supposed to do? Yeah, stop and get gas somewhere. And my dad, growing up, he always taught me, especially when I got my car at 16, he says, never let your fuel drop below a quarter tank. And so I did. I was lazy and irresponsible, and it dropped way beyond that quarter tank, and the light flashed up, but I didn't listen to it. I ignored the indicator because some unwise friends of mine told me, hey, when that light pops up, you have at least a gallon or two. And because my car was old and my car was small, I had great gas mileage. I was like, it's just another 20 miles until I get to church. My car does at least 30 miles per gallon. Rest in peace for all those cars that used to do. Do you remember that? And then gas was like $1, 99 cents, 79 cents. I should have stopped, but I listened to my friends. I'm like, I got plenty of time. I can go to church, do what I need to, and still have enough fuel, enough time to get gas on my way back home. How many can guess what happened? I ran out of fuel on the side of the road. And what would have taken me 5 minutes to get off somewhere in Kendall to refuel my car, now I'm spending 3 hours in Hialeah trying to find a gallon of gas. No one's listen, I'm not talking bad about Hialeah, but you know, right? No one's helping me. No one's talking to me. And it took me a whole lot longer. Why? Because I ignored the indicator light. I want you to write down this big idea. Hopefully this makes sense to you. Feelings are meant to be indicators for our lives, not directors of our lives. Feelings are meant to be indicators for our lives, not directors of our lives. And that's a large part of why this is a challenge for us. Because so many people in our culture, we are led by our feelings. We let our feelings and our emotions direct us. Now, I have to make this abundantly clear as we begin this teaching series. Feelings, emotions, inherently, they're not necessarily problems, but they are warning lights. We need feelings. Life would be boring without feelings. We'd be robots. Relationships would be dull without feelings. They're important. And we should pay attention to our feelings, but we can't be led by them. if we don't learn to manage our feelings, they will end up mastering our lives and leading us to places that we don't want to go. Some people, like me in that car, we end up stuck in life. Not because we're broken. My car wasn't broken. The problem was I was ignoring the indicator. Some of us were stuck in life, not because we're broken. All of us were broken. All of us were imperfect to some degree. All of us, we have room for growth. We have room for improvement. But the difference between some people and others is not that they are better, is not that they are less broken. It's that they pay attention better. When the indicators pop up, when they're in their feelings, they investigate those feelings, but they don't let those feelings lead their life. We have to learn to manage our feelings. We have to pay attention to these indicators and not let them lead our life. Because feelings are powerful. Do you know that? None of you know that. You know who knows that? Marketers. We got to be careful, church. Marketers, they study the brain. They understand the psychology of people. And they use our feelings and our emotions against us often. They try to evoke an emotional response to do what? To get us to buy what they're selling. I remember several Thanksgivings ago, I'm sitting down and I'm watching the television, and Publix has this ad with this family sitting down, and they're all by the table, and there's a candle, and then one of them, I think it's the mom, she goes and she sits down and she opens up a book and she turns on the light, and then this little puppy starts running and jumps on her, and she pets the puppy. It's like, Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. It's like they don't sell puppies at Publix. But it's like, man, I want to feel that way. I want my Thanksgiving to be that peaceful and calm. I better go to Publix, right? Or what they'll do, it's typically usually with animals and sad songs, right? They'll show a dirty dog on the screen, maybe with 3 legs. And they'll play Sarah McLachlan. In the eyes of an angel. And you're like, oh no, the poor puppies. Oh, the cat. Okay, I don't care for cats, but that cat has one eye. Oh man. What are they doing? They're trying to invoke an emotional response. Because feelings are powerful. Feelings will cause us to do foolish things if we don't learn to master them. We'll fall for any sort of feeling if we don't get a hold of them. Turn to the person next to you, tell them, don't fall for it. Michelle, I'm not going to listen to Publix in those commercials. No. I'm not trying to pit us against our feelings. I want you to understand that. I've been in places and houses of worships where they're saying, no, don't have an emotional response. That's not what I'm saying. But I've also been to some other places of worship where all it is an emotional response. There needs to be a balance. There needs to be a managing of those. Feelings are indicators that we need to investigate. But if we let them dictate our lives and what we do, feelings will fool us. Feelings will get us living and acting and loving illogically. That after we've listened to our feelings and we step back, we're asking ourselves, why did I do that? Why did I go there? Why did I date them, right? Because feelings, many of our feelings, they produce chemical responses in the brain that can be controlling if we don't learn to direct them.
Thank you for joining us at the local church online, the perfect place for imperfect people. If today's teaching encouraged you, would you do us a favor of liking this or subscribing if you haven't already? Because that's going to help us reach more people across the world with this good news. If you need prayer or counseling, you can hit one of the links below. In fact, there are several ways that you can take a next step here at the local church. And if you'd love to partner with us, there's also a link to give. Hey, can't wait to see you again real soon. Don't forget, you matter to God, you matter to us.